So if you're coming straight from the last video, you'll already be seated. This is the kind of winding down, gentle sequence. It's an ideal thing to do just before bed, or really any time in the day where you feel like you just need to bring the energy down. So if you're not there already, just finding a really comfortable seat. If cross-legged doesn't feel comfortable for you, that's fine. Any other position. Just going to take a few moments to allow ourselves to settle here. So closing the eyes or allowing the gaze to get really soft, kind of like you're looking through your eyelashes down towards the ground. And just taking a few conscious breaths. So gently following the inhale as it comes in through the nose, filling up the lungs. And on the exhale as it gently draws out of the body. Allow your seat bones to settle on the ground or whatever you're sitting on. Let your shoulders relax, your face soften. And just taking a couple more breaths here, just to resettle yourself in this position. And then on the next inhale, just gently opening up your eyes. We're going to take a few seated forward folds before we come to lie down and take some gentle stretches. So allowing yourself to take both of your legs out in front of you just to start. And so it doesn't matter how straight your legs are, your knees could be bent here, your toes kind of pointing roughly up towards the ceiling. We don't want them to kind of flop out to the side. So if it's more comfortable for you, you can place something underneath the knees. Sometimes having the knees suspended feels really uncomfortable. You could take a pillow to place underneath. And we want to find our seat bones on the ground. So sometimes we have to kind of lean a little bit forwards to find them. Maybe a little rock from side to side. We're going to take a little flowing movement to help to release in the lower back and in the backs of the legs. So as you inhale, we're going to take the arms up towards the ceiling. They don't have to be straight. They could be a little bit more out to the side. Sometimes the reaching up of the arms doesn't feel great. So you can do this without the arms, like an inhale to lift up. It's like your ribs are gently coming away from the hips. And on the exhale, like we're reaching forwards towards the front of the room. So our back is still straight. And it's like we're trying to reach towards something. Keeping your chin gently tucked so the back of the neck is still in a line with the back. And then we're going to inhale to come back up, sitting up a little bit taller. Either with the arms or without the arms, your choice. So the inhale's here, and then the exhale, taking a reach forwards. And then an inhale to come back up. Exhale brings it forwards. Good. Just one more like this, with the hands or without the hands. If the hands are coming up, they come up, and then the exhale brings them forwards. Last one like this, so inhale to come up. And then exhale, this time as you come forwards, we're going to stay there. So allow yourself to reach as far forwards as feels comfortable. As you're reaching forwards, allowing yourself to get as much length in the spine as you can. And then we're going to allow the hands to drop down towards the ground. Let your gaze drop. So your head and your neck isn't holding any tension. We're just allowing it to be soft. There's a lengthening in the back of the body, so stay where you are. Take a few breaths there. You might notice that you need a little bit more of a bend in the knees to give you more space in the lower back. You might find that actually the legs could straighten a little bit. There's more space there for you. So just allow yourself to move around how you want to get this kind of extension in the back body so you feel really comfortable. 2 more breaths here, just to release and let go. And then on our next inhale, gently draw yourself back up to seated. Keeping our seat bones on the ground, we're going to take our right leg or left leg, whichever one, when you're mirroring me, that works for you. One of the legs is going to come in, and we're going to bring the sole of the foot on the inside of the straight-ish legs. So this straight leg might still be bent, you might still have a cushion underneath it. As you bring the sole of the foot inwards, the sole of the foot could be maybe by the calf, maybe it comes a little bit higher towards the inside of the thigh. Again, it doesn't matter. This knee on the outside ideally is opening out a little bit. So if you bring it really close and it comes up really high, slide it down, give it more space. Again, you could place a cushion or maybe some books or a block if you have one underneath your knee. So just allowing your hip to open a little bit. If we can, keeping the hips tracking forwards rather than opening them out to the side. Same thing here, we're going to take an inhale, lift up with or without arms, and then we're going to exhale to come forwards. Again, that bend in the knee is fine. We're going to stay here this time. So again, just allowing your hands to relax somewhere, relaxing your head and your neck. It doesn't matter how far you come forwards. It's just this sense of gently releasing in the lower back, allowing opening in your hip and something that goes on in the back of the leg. Maybe it's just a centimetre you come forwards today. Closing the eyes if it's comfortable. And just let yourself take a few easy breaths here. Again, allowing this sense of just gently releasing down into the stretch. There should be no discomfort. A strong sensation is fine, but allow your exhales to soften. It should be gentle and it should feel quite comfortable. So if it feels too strong or something hurts, gently just come back and away from it. Next inhale, gently bring yourself back up. And we're going to switch the legs over. So just gently crossing, bringing the other leg, sole of the foot, onto the inside of the thigh. Again, just checking this lengthened leg, the toes pointing towards the ceiling. Again, knee could be as bent as you like. Take the support you need underneath the knee, both of the knees. If you feel that that gives you a bit more space, we want to be able to let our hips relax. So sometimes when we're holding them, holding the knee up, it can feel like it's straining. Again, a little inhale to lengthen, maybe with arms, maybe without, that lift up of the ribs. And then exhale to bring it forward. So again, it's kind of like your chest is what's coming forwards. Any amount. Doesn't have to be a big movement. It could just be a little tip forwards here. That might be where you get to. But the spine is still straight. Let the chin tuck in so that you feel relaxed. Maybe taking a roll of the shoulders if you know you hold tension there. Little wiggle out of the jaw. Close the eyes. And just allow yourself once again to settle into this position, allowing those couple of breaths to really release the body, releasing that tension. And then on your next inhale, we'll gently come back up to center. We'll bring the soles of the feet together this time. So as the soles of the feet come together, you might find that actually it's better for you to have a bit more space in your body. So you don't have to have the soles of the feet touching or really close to the body. It could be more of a diamond shape with the feet further away. If your knees are poking up quite high, do slide the feet a bit further. And if you'd like some support under the knees, same, we can take some cushions, maybe some books, anything that helps to soften a little bit in the hips. As we've been doing, it's going to be that inhale to lengthen, find a bit of space, maybe placing the hands on the shins, and then just taking a tip like it's coming from the pelvis, a little tip forwards. So again, the movement might not be huge, you might not be feeling like it's a forward fold, but you are just moving yourself forwards, any amount. Keep that chin tucked into the chest, relax your face, relax your shoulders. And allow yourself to take a few breaths to release and soften around the hips and the lower back. You might find you get an extra couple of millimetres, a little bit more space to come forwards. But the most important thing is that you feel comfortable. You're able to relax around this without holding too much tension. Focusing on your exhale, let your exhale keep releasing in the body. And then we'll take an inhale, just gently bring yourself back up. From here, we're going to take our feet out wide. So about as wide as the mat is fine. We're just going to shake our hips out a little bit. It's called windscreen wipering. So it's just allowing your knees to drop to one side. If your bottom lifts up, that's fine. So you can find this little wiggle in one direction and then in the other. Just finding those little wiggles around. And then from here, we're going to come and lie onto our backs. So find your way down there however you like. You can support yourself to come and lie onto your backs. Gently lowering yourself down. When we get to the bottom, we're going to bring the knees into the chest. So you can take a hold of maybe the fronts of the knees, fingertips pointing towards the toes. Maybe you could hold the shins. And maybe taking these little circles here. So it's like you're giving your lower back a little massage. So you can give yourself, they could be teeny tiny circles, they might be really big circles. Whatever feels really comfortable for you. Just really gentle, easy as you go. And then taking those circles back in the other direction. And from here, we're going to take a really easy twist, and we're going to stay there for a little while, so we want to make it super comfortable. So to start, these knees are going to drop over to your right hand side. So if the knees don't come down to the ground comfortably and our shoulders start to lift a lot, you could put a pillow underneath your knees to support them so that you can relax down. It's okay that your bottom lifts up off of the ground. And then we're going to have the choice with the arms to open them out to the side, maybe just down by our waist. So as the knees are over in one direction, our hands might just drop down. Depending on how your shoulders are feeling, the option is to open into cactus arms. Now, if you open into cactus arms and your shoulders lift off the ground or it pulls, you can either drop the hands further down or just resting the hands on your ribs so the elbows are connecting with the ground. So support yourself so the knees are onto the ground. You're lying on your back. I'm sitting up just to show you, otherwise you can't see me. So rest yourself down where you are with the knees over to one side, the head resting on the ground, knowing, as always, that you can take the support that you need to be able to rest here. Knees maybe on that cushion, closing the eyes here. And just allowing your body to settle down to the ground. Allow the tensions that may be running up through the back to soften down into the ground. Allowing yourself to release in the hips and the shoulders. And then on your next inhale, we'll gently bring our knees up through center. We're just going to come to the other side. So allowing your knees now to drop over to your left hand side, knowing that it might feel different on the other side. So again, take the support you need if you need something under the knees so that it doesn't feel like it strains and pulls on your hips and your back, and that your shoulders can stay towards the ground. It's avoiding this temptation of this shoulder pulling away. So you're off the ground. So if that means the knees need to be on something, that's fine. Maybe the hands could come down next to you, palms facing up. Or if you want to play with the cactus arms. If the cactus arms means that your hands end up kind of hanging in the air or the elbows hanging, then just take them to rest on the side of the body, elbows on the ground. And then closing your eyes again here. Allowing your body to settle where it is, staying where you are. And just releasing any of those tensions running down the back, through in the hips, the shoulders, maybe even tensions in the face. And then on your next inhale, gently coming back to center, we're going to find our way into the final relaxation, into Shavasana. And we've got a few options here. So if you want to use this to actually maybe go straight to sleep, you could get into bed and get yourself comfortable. If you just want to lie down in a traditional Shavasana, you could take the feet as wide as the mat, palms facing up. The option I'm going to offer you is legs up the wall, or on the bed or other piece of furniture that may be around. So this is a really good way to just draw everything back down. It's a really good way to calm the nervous system. If you ever experience stress, panic attacks, it can be a really good way to help reverse the energy and calm things down. So choose what it is you're going to come up against. I'm going to show you against the drawer unit that's next to me. But you want to get your bottom quite close to whatever you're going to be doing it against. And then you're going to just gently roll over to one side. So as you come onto your side, it's going to help you to bring your feet up. Now for some of us, we might be a bit far away and we might need to wiggle our bottom a little bit closer. You can do this on a sofa, it's quite nice if you don't like to straighten the legs. So I can straighten my legs up and rest the backs of my legs on the top of this unit. It allows me to kind of bend my knees so they don't feel like they're straining. If the legs being really far up doesn't feel great for you, then maybe you could do this on a sofa, and that means that your legs would rest over where the seat is. That can be really comfortable. You can actually do this in bed if you want to kind of go upside down on your bed, so your bottom would be where your head would normally be. And it means that afterwards you can just kind of roll over and get straight into bed. So come into the position that's comfortable for you. We don't want the legs so straight that it feels like a strain. There's enough of a bend that it's comfortable. And then your hands can do whatever feels nice for you. So maybe the hands could come onto the ribs. Maybe they want to come out to the side. And then just allowing your gaze to draw inwards so you can close the eyes where you are. Staying where you are, you're going to stay there for a few breaths. So let your body really settle here. It's this real sense of allowing the energy to reverse. And so this position in particular is really good to help to calm the nervous system. It helps to draw the energy back down into the vital organs. And it tells your nervous system that it's okay to soften, it's okay to relax. And so it can be a really nice thing to do before bed, or just any time in the day where you feel like you need to just ground yourself. You can focus on where the back of the body is touching the ground, where you feel that connection with the earth. Or maybe focusing on the expansion around the belly as you breathe fully and deeply. On every exhale, let there be this sense of softening around the face, the jaw, releasing the shoulders, the chest, belly, and the whole of the back body. Noticing any tension in the hands or the feet, and just allowing yourself to let that go. And staying here with your breath. You can stay for as long as you like. Whenever you feel ready, the way to come out of this will be to bring the knees down in towards the chest. I'm going to leave you here, so you can stay for as long as you like. When you're ready to come out, maybe coming straight to bed, rolling over to find yourself in a comfortable position, or taking your time to gently come back to a seated position. So stay as long as you like, focusing on that gentle exhale.